35 inch. Oh my. The bag's knocking everything over. But oh my god. Look at that view. I made it to America. I guess I should tell you how I did that. So, I am currently on a rooftop in my home city of Durban. Why am I in Durban when I'm applying for an American visa where one might have better luck at the bigger consulate back in Johannesburg, where I actually live? Well, COVID. Massive backlogs all around the world mean that to get any slot within like 9 months is something of a miracle. So I have now flown 1 hour, driven 2 more hours, and come to the 12th floor of this random building so that I'm not parked on the street, so that I, once more, after 2 years, might travel internationally. Fingers crossed. Of course, I wasn't doing all this just for the fun of it. The organization I work for, ILGA World, presented an opportunity of a lifetime. Every 2 years, LGBTI+ activists from all around the world gather in a global conference. Getting a visa was easier said than done, of course. The US Embassy in South Africa had publicly announced that it was open for business for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic began, and so I excitedly paid my $180 application fee and filled in the lengthy DS-160 non-immigrant visa form, only to find that the individual consulates were not taking applications and had no idea that the embassy had declared them open. As a South African, it did make me quite happy to learn that it's not only my own country's bureaucracy that is utterly useless, but the Americans are somewhat touchy about foreigners and their blessed patriotism, so I made sure not to complain too much on the equally useless US Embassy helpline. By some miracle, a slot for a visa interview did open up, and not wanting to miss my one and only chance, I made sure to get there early. I need not have worried though. My 10 o'clock visa appointment will begin after 11 when the guy who does the visa appointments arrives. Until then, security suggests I come at 10:30 for my 10 o'clock appointment. In a little over an hour. Yes, I got here very early. So until then, I shall have a cheeky Nando's, as the kids say, for breakfast. Eventually, all visa applicants were herded into the elevator, quite chaotically I might add, and queued up outside the consulate. All electronics had to be surrendered, so I can't show you what the place looked like, but on the wall hung this famous Lansdowne portrait of George Washington. The rainbow in the corner, hopefully, was a harbinger of queer success. though I'm not sure why such a detailed painting would put the rainbow upside down. The interview itself felt a little intimidating, but was over in just a few minutes. And no sooner had I returned to Johannesburg than my passport arrived back at my door, visa inserted, with a somewhat grumpy-looking photo. At the time of recording, it is a requirement that visitors to the United States are fully vaccinated against COVID-19, which I have been for some time, but having worked so hard to get this damn visa, I wasn't about to let a global pandemic ruin my shot at traveling. So, off I went to get a booster injection about a month before I flew. My 5G cell service is still terrible, so I do think the conspiracy theorists owe me something of a refund. It is also a requirement, at the time of recording, that you test for COVID-19 no more than 1 calendar day before flying. The nurses at the testing center didn't let me film the swab going up my nose, which is probably for the best, but all that mattered was that I tested negative and that my adventure was about to begin. So, OR Tambo International Airport has two terminals, Terminal A for international, Terminal B for domestic. I've been wandering all over Terminal A. Turns out Air France is operating out of Terminal B, the domestic departures. I'm not sure at what point France became a part of South Africa, or South Africa a part of France. All I can say, President Macron, congratulations on your recent victory. Hello. I'm going to the US, Los Angeles via Paris. Yep. Apart from the fact that Air France was checking luggage in the area reserved for domestic flights, I had checked into my flight and got through security without much of a hassle. Sadly though, when you're traveling while trans, hassle remains almost inevitable. I'm sorry.
Is your passport?
Yes. Yes, it is me.
This you?
Yeah, check my visa's a more new photo.
This is your old photo.
This is my new photo.
And then the passport?
The passport is, I haven't been able to update it yet because Home Affairs was closed with the lockdown. I can take my mask off.
Yes.
How are you?
Good, and you?
And then your final destination is?
Pardon? Final destination. I'm going via Paris to LA. Yeah, just connecting.
So, here, ma'am, where's your...
I had it removed.
Yeah, but it's before me.
If it's helpful, I've got a letter from the doctor explaining it.
And then when did you do the COVID test?
COVID test. I had it yesterday. Do you want the COVID? Okay. Maybe this video will show people just how important legal gender recognition actually is. I was lucky to be allowed onto that flight. Yet, in work I did with a group of South African activists not too long ago, I was told by the Minister of Home Affairs himself that such amendments are not essential. I didn't let it spoil my mood though. It's the sort of thing you unfortunately have to get used to as a trans person, and I was far too excited about the upcoming adventure to care. The flight to my connection in Paris was uneventful, as were the 4 hours I spent sleeping on a duty-free bench in Charles de Gaulle International Airport. Looking a bit more like a human. It's been a long trip so far, and I really need some caffeine. But in the days leading up to my trip, the rand weakened quite significantly against the dollar and the euro. So the cost of coffee is too high. It cost her too much. You get it? It cost her too much money. The coffee. It's so hard to tell jokes to the camera. There's nobody to groan at you. It was shitty coffee. Uneventful, but well, you know the drill by now.
Veronica, give us seconds, you know.
Okay. I also have a letter from my doctor about the
Don't
medication.
worry, don't worry.
Okay.
She's gonna check it.
Okay.
Please. Because it's important to us. That's why
Yeah.
we are doing this.
No, it's
Can you
understandable.
stay?
Must I come this side?
Yeah, we fair.
Okay.
Bonjour.
Hello, how are you?
Good, and you?
You can hold this. I'm just gonna verify your visa, okay?
Okay.
How long are you gonna be in the U.S.?
Until the 25th of May. The first week is work-related, and then after that it's leisure.
Work related.
Yes, I work for an NGO. There's a conference happening in LA.
Oh. So you're gonna be there 2 weeks, you said?
I think it's closer to 4. It's until the 25th of May. That's when I land back at home. So I fly out of the States on the 24th, I think.
Full-time consultant.
Yes. I've got a work letter as well.
They should have sent you down there for Pride.
I would have liked to, but
But LA is my home, so.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome. Good.
okay.
You can go? Okay. Have a good flight, okay?
Thank you so much.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your flight.
It's fine. 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 Keep telling myself it's fine. Luckily, the views out of the plane en route to California were spectacular enough to take my mind off of this nonsense. It's counterintuitive if you're used to seeing the Earth as a flat map, but the shortest flight path actually went over Greenland. I have never seen so much ice before. Who knows how much longer we will have the privilege of seeing such breathtaking sights. By now, I was most nervous to get through American border control. Understandably, I think. But they gave me almost no hassle at all for my appearance, and I was through quite quickly. Much more difficult was finding the damn bus to get to the taxi and rideshare pickup point. Oh my. The bag's knocking everything over. But oh my god. Look at that view. Yeah. That was my journey from South Africa to the United States of America. Exhausting, frustrating, and a little bit scary. But here I was, ready-ish, for the 2022 ILGA World Conference.